Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So in my last session we looked into the Spotfire, like how to write the database functionality using the Spotfire. So in the end, um, unfortunately my client has been crashed, so due to that I couldn't able to complete my tutorial. So today, so we'll be looking into the issues like what we overcome. It's not an actual issues, it's the presentation of how to create the forms, right? So in my last tutorial, the form what I have created inside the text area is really not that great. So today I'm going to create a brand new table or the form within the Spotfire, and I can explain you how easily you can create the forms uh, you know, with ease. So let's get started. So before going into the Spotfire client and creating the table, I can suggest there is a tools called divtable.com generator. So I've been using this tool, this online generator, to create these tables from long time. This is fantastic. You can create a number of tables as per your requirements. This is not just the HTML. You can create it in the div, so you'll get the CSS, but as of now, as per my requirement, I just need the table. So you just need to select specific cells and you'll get the table. I'm not going to give the demonstration how to create this. Basically just play around with this. So the moment you create the tables, the HTML tag will be generated to your right hand side, right? So you can just name all the stuff over here. Once you think your table is ready, you just need to copy this code. All you need to do is copy this code and open your Spotfire client. Okay, so in order to work on your workspace, basically you need to connect to your data, right? So last time when we created this users registration page and we inserted the data, like we have inserted these two records. So let's do the same thing. Let's insert the same data. So how do we, so initially we would like to read the data first, and then we can create that insert concept next. So let's quickly do that. So I would like to add an information link from the information designer. So I have my data sources already created. All I need to do is create multiple columns and then quickly go to the database, and then where did we, in test and DBA, and then this is my table. So I'm gonna read all the columns. I'm not gonna skip anything. So from here I have to create a new folder called user registration folder, right? So I'm gonna save these columns here. So I got my columns saved here. You see my columns has been saved here. And by the way, last time we have this folder as new folder or something like that. I renamed it to the learning. So not to get confused, right? So I just saved the list of columns here, the column elements. So now we'll quickly create the information link and then add these column elements to this information link. No prompts, no filters, no nothing. I'm just going to save it as my information link. So I'll call this information link as il_ user registration save. So we got this information link got saved. So let's just click on open. So it will open up on the Spotfire client automatically. So you see I haven't selected .data type or something like that, so I just close this one. Now I got these 3 rows inserted here. I can read these 3 rows easily. It's looking good, right? So now let's create this form first, or like there are multiple ways. Like we already created in our first chapter, we have already created that information link by creating the stored procedure with all the parameters. So all we need to do in this session is to create a form, nice looking form, right? So let's click on this text area. So where's my text area? And this is the text area. So now what we need to do is I'll just call this text area as user registration, and then I'll just copy this code. I'll just paste it here. Oops. Edit HTML and then paste it here. Save this. So you get this, right? So if you think that it is the borders is really not looking that great, you can at any time you can take the borders and let's see how it looks like. Still okay to me, but let me have it just to avoid the confusion. It looks good. So let me clear the cell padding 1. Let's see if there anything, nothing. So let me have the cell padding 2, and now you see there is a spaces here, right? This space, this is where we need to have this document properties to be stored, right? So we will insert this first name input. So we need to create this document properties. So click on this and click on this is called an insert property control, through which you can create all your document properties. So click on this and click on your input field. So once you click on this, I'll just call this input field as f name, which calls it as first name. Click OK. So it got here. So you see this one here. What? Oh, I feel like this is really small. Let's see what can I do here for that. So can I increase the specific size of this cell? Let me try that. So this is auto size, but let me increase this to 300. But width, height, I think I cannot able to control it. It should be an option. Definitely I'm going to look after this. There should be an option, because definitely since we have this ID, everything is got generated Spotfire control ID, and I should be able to call this into the JavaScript, and then I can assign the CSS properties over there, and I can able to create the control. Hopefully I can create one more session or a video for this in order to create these forms. So right now I'll just quickly create this form. So one more input field, I call this as L name, right? Last name, first name, last name, email, which would be on this side. Insert new email, right? So we got the 3 document properties created. We have to create 2 more document properties. I'll call this as new password. Click OK. I see something has changed. Something is wrong. Why is that happen? There's something I did wrong here. That's the reason, you see, I did something. So let me see if I can able to restore that by any chance. It's the last name. I know I did something wrong here. I have to restore this stuff. There you go. We got these things here, and I am going to fix it as auto size. and then password, we'll create the password here. Make sure that you take out those NBSP, which is a space. Let's see if we have this document property available. For pass, we have this password, and then we'll assign it here. Now we have this password, and for gender, I'll quickly create this gender. So I just want this as my drop-down box, right? So I just create gender, and then I'll make it as a fixed values here itself. Male is equal to male, female, others we call this O. Click OK. So now you get the nice looking drop down, right? So, and we need to have one good looking button. Do you think we may need to have one more box for button? I think, yeah, that may look good. So let me copy this specific code. Let's see if this works as expected, and then I'll paste it here, and then I'll call this as PUTTON and CV. Yeah, there you go. So all we need to do is we'll just take this button out. Now this time we will use the insert action control. This is the property control, this is the action control. Just remember these names. So now we call this as submit, and we call this as a button, or you can just simply go to the online and make sure that you'll get just submit button image or something like that, right? So you'll get plenty of submit button images. So make sure that which one like this is for the trial purposes, we are not using for any of the production. So when you are planning to use this for any kind of production, make sure that you create your own buttons. I think this is looking good, but oops, it's not looking that great. So let's see how this submit button looks. Okay, this seems to be normal, like just Spotfire button, I guess. So let's see. Okay. There's a capsule button. So let's save this image as button submit button. Now save this submit button, come back here, and now you just need to load that image here, and this is my button. So this button will be loaded here as soon as I click save or something like that, right? So now I'm going to assign a small Python script to this, which I call it as insert script. So it's just simply the table name where the data has to be inserted and table has to be refreshed, right? Insert table, itable, and then dot resh refresh, then run script. Yeah, it throws an error because itable is not defined. So copy this itable, add it, make sure that you choose the proper data table. I would say we will see that. We'll come back to that point. I'll tell you what exactly is happening here. I'll just click OK. We got very big submit button. Wow. So let's click on the format. Make sure that so basically you can able to control this image sizes from here, right? So 50. Click OK. Too small. Make it 100. Much better, or make this one 200 too. We'll see. 70. Okay. So I would like to move this whole stuff into the center. This is not, it's in the corner right now. So it's in the corner. I would like to move this whole stuff into the center. And let's do that. So let's see how we can do that. Either I can create align and center from here. Align is equal to, let's see if that doesn't work. Something I'm doing wrong here, I guess. There you go. Something I'm doing wrong. So there's a shortcut in order to do those kind of things. So sometimes, you know, you maybe sometimes I forgot how to do that. So in that case, I'll use this kind of text here. I'll just click on this align center, right? So this align center. Now we can see the code. What exactly has changed? So it's created a div, and then yeah, I forgot to put the element in front of it. So there is a div element has to be created and center. So that pushed it to the center. Now I want to have a nice background. So I would like to click on the insert background color, background image. So background image. So I actually downloaded this gradient background image. So I'll just click OK. Right. So the yeah. Okay. See, this is looking bit dark, bit light actually. So let me quickly change that to black. Right, or black is fine, or light blue maybe. That's fine. So we have this cool stuff here. User registration table, this one, this one, this one, this one. So now we have to send this data. We should be able to submit this data into this table. Right now what you're seeing as only 3 columns right now. So I'll quickly add one more information link. This information link is my stored procedure. Click OK. I'll just give test. It's like it will ask you initially. So make sure that you keep it as a data on demand. And now you have these parameters that has to be assigned, right? So I'm defining my email ID, which I have created just now. It's my email ID. And now click OK. And then my first name, I'm going to define as my first name. And click OK. Gender, define my gender. Gender. And then click OK. And then last name is my last name. Password. Okay, call. Click OK. Click OK. Now just close this. By default it will open up this thing. Let's see now whether it works or not. So let's say so since we passed the dummy values like test, let's see whether they are loading or not. Click on the data table. This table we have created. Let's say refresh without prompt. Oh, there is something has been created. It's just we're passing test or something like that. So that's fine. Now we'll create we will submit the data. John Eric or something like that, right? John Eric at gmail.com and password is Spotfire, for example. Spotfire and mail. Submit. No errors. Click here, data table. So come here into this and just click on refresh without prompt. Did we get anything? We just submitted it, right? Like supposed to get something out of it. What happened? Let's see into the database table. It wasn't inserted. It is not inserted, so we need to know why. Oh, now initially remember I said that when we created that Python script, we assigned the data to the wrong table. That's the reason you got this thing. So I'll just click here, click edit. Now this data table has to be changed to the stored procedure. So this is where it will insert. So now click run script. It ran. Okay. Now we'll come here. Let's see if it got refreshed. There you go. So you got all this data, like his data has been. Let me try it one more time. Merry Chris. at outlook.com 1 2 3 4 5 and then female. Submit. Done. So why not we create one more button here to read this every time, so once it goes to once a user or someone is opening this report through a web player, so they will be not having an option to reload. Every time they has to reload the entire data. I don't want to do this. I just want to load only this specific table, right? This is driving me nuts, like every time I do that. So let me quickly do that. Click on edit columns. No. Click on text area. I'll just this text area. What's happening? Come on. I just want this text area on top of this. Yeah. I'll just create a quick button, simple button. Refresh user registration table. Right? Refresh table. Sage. There you go. Now we got this. So the moment I got this button, when I tested, now I can see this right here. I'll just take out this text area name from there, like this time I'm going to save this one. I'll save it in my library. All right, guys. All right, in the next chapter we can definitely look so you see these guys here, there are some test data which is coming as null, and like any specific record you want to delete, basically you can easily delete that information, that level of entire records, again using the same functionality, using write back functionality. um, in the meantime, just try. If you want to try this, basically you can definitely try this. If you have any questions, post a comment. uh, and also I'm going to update this in my blog, step by step, where where you can do things by yourself easily. So yeah, thank you guys. I'll catch up in the next video. Bye.